So where's the cemetery?
This is Georgia Road. The cemetery is on South Carolina Road.
Okay. Well, let's go. Let's walk. Let's go to South Carolina
Road.
To the sign.
Yes.
Get a picture from the sign, and then go to the cemetery.
Yes, the cemetery is on South Carolina Road.
Right. Okay. Let's go. Everybody from the sign, and then walk to the cemetery.
Well, first of all, we want to welcome you. We appreciate your coming, and we are very glad to have you. This is the city of Arthington. I think I was founded 1869 by one Robert Arthington from Britain. He helped to form Arthington, and in the hills and the moors were the original founder of Arthington.
So we brought a book that has pictures of Arlington, including the cemetery.
Okay, this is the cemetery. I think the hill and the moors. Yeah.
Okay. For introduction, Alfred Hill, the great grandson of Solomon Hill, they immigrated here, and they helped to found this city. And Solomon Hill was one of the founders, along with Alonzo Hooker, John Brisbane, and June Moore. Those are the people that found. Some of them came from North and South Carolina, right now, USA.
That's where we're working. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we're here because we are from the area where Elias Hill and June Moore came from.
Okay.
We come from the Allison Creek community, the Clay Hill community in York County, South Carolina, and I'm pastor of Allison Creek Presbyterian Church. And on the church property are the grave sites of your ancestors, of the Hill and Moors. So there's 300 grave sites at Clay Hill, and so it was from that community which Elias Hill and June Moore comes from, and then migrates from where we come from to here in Arlington.
At the church, Solomon Hill's grandmother, her name is Dorcas Hill. She's buried. Her gravestone is at Allison Creek. At Allison Creek.
To your church. Okay, and what we say again? Next meeting you all, and you are welcome. We are family. We're supposed to be your family in Liberia here, because the Hill and the Moore were two cousins that immigrated here. June Moore Sr. and Solomon Hill.
Your picture is in this book that we have brought. I just saw it. Here's the picture of your ancestors.
Yeah, that's right. That's them. Solomon Hill and June Moore. Cemetery of the institutions of Liberia.
When you started talking,
That's it. That's our people.
To be with him as he was discovering that piece of his past was just amazing.
I see why
So this is St. Paul Baptist Church.
Okay. Yeah, the church. Yeah, the symbol. Yeah, right here. Yeah, right up there. Right here. Okay. We do a little bit of walking. And so I think. Yeah.
Do you know where, whose grave are we looking with? Solomon, right?
Solomon.
All of a sudden I can't remember. Do you know where he is buried?
Yeah, I know. I'm the grandson. The great
You know where he's buried then?
I know where he's buried.
William Henry Tyler Mansion.
Yeah, the two posts.
So, were these houses destroyed during the war or
Before the
war?
This was done before the war.
And, all right, so this is a home for where we are from. And so these pictures compare the home the area where we are from with the architecture here in Arlington and how similar they are from Brattonsville here and how similar it is.
So in the keep
Reverend Henry Hill's porch.
Yeah, you will see it.
Yeah, my old
You will
man.
see it.
My old man.
His father porch.
Yeah.
That's his father's porch.
Yeah.
That's your, go back.
That's your father's porch?
Yeah, we will see it when we get
That's where you grew up?
Yeah.
I know.
But they didn't keep records.
We didn't keep records, but we know them.
We are surprised that you have the records that we don't even have.
No.
Okay. Well, let me tell you the stories that you may not know about Elias Hill. Elias Hill was born into slavery in the United States, and after our Civil War, he was a free man. He bought 40 acres of property next to Allison Creek Church, where I'm the pastor, and was doing very well. And so this was what the period of time that we call Reconstruction in the United States. And what happened, because there was a lot of white people in the United States, in the southern United States, that did not like the fact that African Americans were starting to become prosperous, and so they rose up and started doing very terrible things against the African Americans, and raped and terrorized and pillaged, and so the Ku Klux Klan is what they were called, and so they carried out these very atrocious acts against Elias Hill and his relatives. But then Elias Hill, he testified. So the United States troops come in and they take over the town, the area of York County, and Elias Hill and Harriet Simrill testify in court against the Ku Klux Klan, the KKK, and the people that they testified against, these white people that were carrying out these acts of terror, were convicted and they were sent to prison. And to our knowledge, it's the only time in that period of Reconstruction where the testimonies of African Americans led to convictions of the KKK. And so those folks in the KKK, those men, were sent to prison, and at the time, for a couple of years, the KKK was run out of South Carolina. And so your ancestors did some amazing, powerful things and showed tremendous courage.
Heroes.
True heroes in York County. And so our church is learning those stories now. And so we are actually having an event in 2 months in May where we're going to be sharing the stories about Elias Hill and Harriet Simrill and their
Solomon Hill.
and Solomon Hill June Moore and their tremendous courage and of what they did in our area, and then their migration here, and starting the community of Arlington.
Tell me for the information. This is the church. The cemetery is right behind it, on the side and behind it. This is the St. Paul Baptist Church. It's one of the oldest Baptist churches here.
That's your father? That's your father? That's your father, okay.
So this is the church that we're going to. All of them came from the church.
Yeah, Simple Baptist Church.
The Baptist Church.
They built a church.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you sharing all that. I mean, and that's nothing to be ashamed of, because we come from Allison Creek Presbyterian Church, which includes people who were slave owners, who enslaved other human beings. In fact, the pews that we sit on up in the balcony were made by your ancestors. I mean, they were the pews that we sit on in the balcony of our church today were made by your ancestors, and they are still used today.
Yeah. That's fine.
What is this? It's a vision where
You could take the water out and completely immerse the person.
and when they bring it back.
I think that's the way it would work. What a view. What a view.
There is the hot room. When you see where the hot room. This church got destroyed during the war. Yeah, during the war, so everything down. And yeah, you see everything down. So, after that, we close it.
And so those benches, those are old, very old, or?
No, when the choir can sit.
Yeah.
For the choir.
That time is right.
So we don't have these records.
We don't have the record.
The other thing that we know is so June Moore comes here and is very successful here, and then he comes back to York County where we live and is interviewed by our newspaper, and he talks about the experience here in Liberia, and there were two different stories, narratives being told about Liberia. Some were telling a story that Liberia was great, and others were telling a story that Liberia was terrible and that it was a horrible place. But one of the things that June Moore shared in that story was that they were paying the African Liberians that came back, they were paying them 50 cents a day to work, and the native Africans, they were paying 25 cents to work the same work.
That is true.
And so he was saying that in the article that he felt like the African Americans were more industrious and were smarter, and so that's why they got paid 50 cents, and the native Africans only got paid 25 cents.
Yeah, that is true.
That is true?
Yeah, because the casual worker now will not be paid equal to a skilled family. That's true. There's nothing wrong with that at that time.
And, another thing here is that the Hill and the Moors were very prosperous people. In one book I read, but I can't find a book now, that the Hill and the Moors even lent the Liberian government some money.
Yeah, they were.
For about $40,000, I remember at the time. Because what made these houses so far apart was the people were engaging in this coffee
and ginger, wasn't it?
Coffee and ginger.
And cocoa?
Yeah.
No, mostly coffee and ginger.
Yeah.
Wait, so you say that again. I'm sorry, I wasn't filming. You grew up with Charles Taylor.
I grew up with him. We played together, grew up, young boy, and did everything together.
Mr. Taylor, for the foregoing reasons, the trial chamber unanimously sentences you to a single term of imprisonment of 50 years for all of the counts on which you've been found guilty.
And then the soldiers came in and
they just loosened the houses.
They just basically came in on foot and destroyed the houses.
Okay. Yeah, that is 1940. Tell house. The white people had children by the slaves.
Yes.
And their children, they did not want their children to be treated unfairly. So they decided to find a place for them.
Right.
So this is one of the reasons why these settlements and things were formed.
Okay. Well, and June Moore decided that there was no place for African Americans in America, that things would not change, and so the only hope for what he called the Negro race was for them to come and come to Africa, where they could start and make their own community, because he felt like there was no way that they could be accepted into the United States.
This is the Montgomery AME Church. The Methodist Church. Montgomery
Okay.
AME Church.
Now, when was it founded?
I read an article in the newspaper that you had written the president about the road condition in Arthington, and I think this road bridge was written in that letter. Is that correct?
Yeah, we tried to elaborate on the road condition. You see, another one is at Cowboy Camp West Road. You see, that bridge was in a deplorable state. And so we tried to appeal to the president to help us with the road. But up to now, we have not seen green light yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Nothing happening.
Nothing happening.
Whoa, this is really cool.
Go across now and take the picture. You see, in the city area, let's say we are about 2,000 in the main city.
Okay.
Yeah, but most of the people live in the rural area. See? Our head of it, our staff are here, and they are sitting in the middle.
Okay. All here now, the hill, the moor. And here, this, the hill and the moor. It's two brothers.
They live on the same
Hill
street.
Moor, there's a Hill Moor now, avenue.
Wow.
We're going straight. As far as you can see.
This, Peter, this is June Moore's house right here.
Hot spot. June Moore, yeah, that way, hot spot.
This is where he lived. And it's perfect. The land's very flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice view up high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where his house was.
Slavery, they came out of oppression, they came out of civil war, and they started a country.
Yeah.
Now, it's not perfect. There are things about it that wasn't perfect, but they had the courage to try again, or to try and to do it and to succeed. Yeah, so comes back and
Very June Moore, born to Simrill, 1844.
Immigrated to Liberia, 1871. Died December 17th, 1899. age 55 years.
The old man said he was strong. The old man was strong.
Very strong.
Yeah.
103 years old.
Yeah, he was very strong.
So my family, the Simrill family in South Carolina, lived next door to the Hills. And he had an ironworks where he made guns and cannons for the American colonial army against the fight against the British redcoats. And the redcoats, they didn't like this, so they came and they burned his ironworks. He was a blacksmith.
That's true.
Solomon Hill was a blacksmith.
That's true.
And I found out about this story because right before I was about to get married, I wanted to know more about my family's history. And so there's this thing called Ancestry.com that allows you to look at all these historical documents. And so I discovered the story of Harriet Simrill, whose testimony against the Ku Klux Klan helped kick them out of South Carolina in 1871. And then Elias Hill, we found that the Simrill family came over to Liberia. And that before he became Solomon Hill after slavery, he was, I feel uncomfortable saying, he was enslaved by my family.
That history.
Yes, it's history.
Okay,
so I found his name in this will of my third great grandfather, along with his wife Patsy, and June Moore's wife Adeline. And here he is, Saul, right here.
Saul, yeah.
And he was valued at $3,000. So this is the highest valuation of anyone in the will.
Wow.
And that's because he was a blacksmith. And he had this knowledge and these skills. Well, he found out about this. And he said, his famous words were, when I learned that I was worth that much to my boss, I figured I would be worth a lot more to myself.
That's true.
And he became one of the richest men in all of Liberia.
Watch for the break here where the next book starts. That's what I'm looking for now. There it is.
So this discovery has helped to unite the white and black sides of the Hill Simrill family. So now we get together once or twice a year for a big reunion cookout. And I'm telling you what, if you can come, you can make it to South Carolina, we would love to host, we would be honored to host you and your family.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I hope that this visit will not be the last communication between us. I hope that it will bring us even more closer, because I think the Hill and the Moors are, even though we were black, but I think we are all together. So we should not think about the history. The history is in the past, but I think the history can bring us closer together. And any information, we appreciate to have it. Don't feel that we will feel bad. You are not responsible, and nobody is responsible. It is time that is responsible for whatever has happened.
This is a cemetery.
Yeah.
But wouldn't Elias have some kind of marker?
Well, there's
some stones right here.
This is a grave.
Yes.
This is a grave. American, let him take the picture. Just clean right, it's small. Let him take the picture. This is a grave.
Elias Hill, he had polio when he was young, so he couldn't walk.
This is a book that shows the Hill Moore I mean, there was a tall obelisk in that picture.
So what's that over there?
Maybe that's it right there.
Okay. Yes. Oh yeah. That's so great.
It's got to be right here.
No, these people were buried before these people, I think.
This was buried before that.
Yeah.
So it's possible Elias Hill's grave to be right here.
Yeah.
We got another one right here.
Say that again.
It is possible that Elias Hill's grave could be right here because this is the Hill Cemetery. Now, many graves are here. Many graves are here.
Just gonna have to erect something. That somewhere here lies Elias Hill. Oh, for the stone.
But this is an old stone. This one's an old one. Right here. It's a grave. So this is stone.
This is stone.
Who knows whether this could be Elias Hill? Because a son could have been buried right before him. This could be Elias Hill. And this
Do watch out for ants. There are ants.
Yes. Because
Just saw that.
the son right before him. You saw this one?
I just saw ants.
Oh yeah, yeah, on that side,
Be
yeah.
careful about ants.
Exactly. So what I'm taking, yeah. You heard what I said?
You think this?
This could be.
But why would he not have a marker?
Yeah.
He probably did at one point, don't you
Yeah,
think?
but it's been years.
You think somebody could have stolen it, or
Not stolen, but it's been
or
years.
just eroded?
Yes, it's been years.
He'll be there.
Yeah, and do a kind of stuff.
Sam, we're gonna do it during the festival time.
I'm going to move into the cemetery and do a kind of ceremony right in there. Say some prayer.
Oh, I have the top.
Is it okay?
Yes, that's very good. Thank you.
Okay.
We'll take it back to our grave. We'll take it back to our cemetery.
And
we'll
put it there.
sprinkle. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Say a good prayer.
Okay.
What a mighty God we serve. Dear Father, that the grave site that is considered as the silent city of the dead, today there is a voice that we can hear that can still bring us back together. For the work that our ancestors have done, for those things, dear God, that we can still remember. Lord, I just tell you thank you for the family of Allison Creek.
Thank you, Father.
For such an historical moment, for such a time, Lord, to reflect, God.
Thank you, Lord.
I've just come, Lord, to say thank you today that you have fulfilled your word by reconnecting us as a people. Dear God, if we look back and see where you took us from, dear God, we have every reason to say thank you.
Thank you, Lord.
How great thou art.
How great.